Ooh, man. It's cold as fuck here, bro. Alright. Let's try and make this quick. Like 20 minutes or so. So, y'all see the video. You see the video title. It's just a funny word to use because that's what everyone says nowadays. Crash out. Oh, the crash out, dude. Crashing out. Like, fuck, dude. Oh, fuck. Shit, dude. But this is kind of what it is. And I've been thinking about it all week. And, well, I'm thinking about it for like years. You know, it's just a lot of opinions and stuff like that. But it's just that, like, recently, people were apparently, like, shocked about some of my opinions about Dancerush. And I was just like, do I really have to make a video repeating myself when I've made videos, like, for years? Talking about Dancerush stuff and my opinions and this and that. You know, but I guess I have to. Dude, this light was not that bright, I don't think. But I don't know. But yeah, apparently my opinions are unknown. So I have to reassess myself and reiterate what needs to be said. So you know, I like to think, like, out of my 7 years of playing the game and all of my achievements and accolades in my Dancerush career, I like to think I have a little bit of credibility, a little bit of weight in the discussions, and yeah, I think that gives me just a little bit. Doesn't matter if I've taken a dance class or if I know how to dance. Doesn't matter. That doesn't mean shit about anything. If that meant shit about anything, then Chaos would have swept all Dancerush tournaments. But whatever. Apparently, if you're a dancer, then you know more about everything. And blah, 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 this and that. Whatever. Sure. Anyway. I like to think I have credibility in what I say. And what I think is, I think it should be pretty obvious that California, or like Socal, is pretty much dominating Dancerush Stardom. And anything that's not Socal, anything in the US that's not Socal is pretty much dominating everything. There's no other scene, there's no other state that rivals Socal or California as a whole. So I think that's fair to say. If anyone has any problem with that, then I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea where you've been for the last couple of years. That's just, it is what it is. If you want me to elaborate on that, I mean, what do you want me to say? It's pretty obvious. You want me to, like, again, I just be repeating myself. This is stuff that I've been saying and already said before, so I'm not going to repeat myself all the time when I make a point. If you don't agree, then you don't have to say anything. It is what, if you want to believe what I'm saying is right, then you don't have to believe what I'm saying is right. It is what it is. But I'm just saying it so that people know, because apparently people were shocked when I said certain things about Dancerush and the community and stuff like that. So I just gotta say it. So attached to that, any like Dancerush tournament in Socal, I would pretty much put that as like the definitive list, at least for the times, the definitive list of like who is the GOAT and who is the BOAT, you know? Like if you compare, like, say Socal Stage 24 to like literally any other Dancerush tournament that has ever been made outside of California, it doesn't even come close. It doesn't even come close. It's like, again, like, if you want me to explain myself, like, what do you want me to say? It's just, you just see it for yourself. It's so obvious. Like Eclipse, Mistake on the Lake, The Big Deal. I don't know how you can look at those tournaments and be like, Yeah, those are pretty legit. They match up to stage, Socal stage standards. No, no, not at all. Each tournament has had their faux pas and their errors and their jankness that Socal stage has not had, at least as far as I'm aware. Because when stuff like Eclipse and Mistake on a Lake happened, everyone had their opinions, everybody had their negatives to say about this and that. Each and every tournament that happened. But then when Socal stage happened and stuff like that, nobody was like shitting on it. Nobody was saying, oh, this was bad. Nobody was saying anything bad about it. Unless there's like some secret chat where everybody's talking shit about it, then by all means. I mean, I guess I'm the one who doesn't know. But that wouldn't make sense because when the other tournaments happened, all the opinions, all the negatives about it were made public. And people were just like, yeah, it wasn't really like all that. And when the Socal happened, nobody was like speaking negatively about it. So maybe there's like some sort of disconnect like right there. I don't know. But that is my view about it. The Socal Dancerush tournaments are pretty much the pinnacle. Anything else is just like, I'm not gonna say it's a joke, but I'm just saying if I went to any of those tournaments and I placed like highly in those, I wouldn't take pride in that. Because I know like the way that tournaments are structured, the judging and stuff like that, it's just like, it's too jank. It's too jank. It's like, especially with the recent tournaments outside of California, it just doesn't make sense because they've had so much to go off on, yet they make like these weird things to like change the system of a Dancerush tournament. It's like, why do you have to have audience score? Why do you have to split the contestants into two groups? Why? Like, I don't. And then you have the Socal stage tournament. Everything's normal. Everything's clear cut. Boom, 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 boom. This and this and that. And then there's a winner. And then that's it. Just like that. But then the other tournaments, it's not like that. Because each and every tournament has had their faux pas and their errors and mistakes that people talk about to this day. What do people talk about Socal stage? Nothing that I've heard. Everybody was pretty like unanimous about it. Everything was good. So I don't know where the problem, I don't know where the shock is when I say that the Socal tournaments have like a high standard, high credibility compared to the other tournaments where it's not like, again, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have to be specific. If you don't want to agree with me, if you don't want to look into what I'm saying, then that's on you. I'm just doing this for myself. When other tournaments have grand finals and there's 4 people playing level 10s and there's literally people playing the level 10 as if they're like struggling to clear the level 10 compared to somebody who's like styling the level 10 more or less, but then the person who's styling is almost knocked out by somebody who looked like they were struggling to play the level 10, and you're gonna look at that and think that has any credibility? What? Again, I don't know what exactly that was. You guys can figure it out. That, I don't know, Eclipse or whatever, I don't fucking know. But just like those situations, like when other tournaments outside of California, there is obviously a clear-cut winner. But then for some reason, either that person did not win or that person almost lost by like so little. And it's like, how did that even happen? Who is judging these people? How is somebody who styles a level 10 matching with somebody who looks like they're playing the level 10 for the first time? And then meanwhile, you look at Socal stage, and everything is clear cut. The judges make their decision. Everyone's happy with it. Bada bing, bada boom. There's a winner. Everybody's happy about it. Everybody agrees on it. That's it. No controversy. No this or that. Life goes on. Because again, I've never heard anybody complain or say any negatives about the Socal tournaments. And if there is, then, you know, I guess I'm not seeing it. Like I said, there's a secret chat or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's it. If I had to make it into like one sentence, I would say that Dancerush tournaments outside of California don't have as much credibility as the ones in California, because those really set the bar on not necessarily how Dancerush should be played, but how people should strive to attempt to play Dancerush. Because at the end of the day, Dancerush is completely subjective. So to look at a performance and say, unless it's like objectively bad, like they don't know how to play the game, unless it's something like that, then you could say, oh, it's bad. But if it's something that you don't like or something that's not your style, you can't say it's bad. It's something you don't like. And it doesn't matter if there's like a line of judges and they all say it's bad, it still doesn't make it bad unless it's objectively bad, because it's still all subjective. And that's really where the problem lies. Because, and this goes outside, this is like a Dancerush as a whole. Dancerush tournaments and how they're judged and how people look at them is just so, it's so skewed, it's so tilted, and it really makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, there is nothing that you can tell somebody to explain to them how to become the best Dancerush player. Because I thought there was a way to be the best Dancerush player, and that was what I was thinking when I was looking at somebody like Rockwet. I was like, man, this guy is the best. He did so well. But then certain people didn't think so, or they're bored of what he was doing. Like, oh my god. Like somebody who's a dancer who will look at Rockwet and be like, oh, he's doing this way too much. It's so boring. Even though it's so stylish and cool, I've seen it way too much. It's so boring. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? Like, you shouldn't even be thinking about it like that. You shouldn't be thinking like, oh, he's doing the same thing over and over. If it looks cool, it looks cool. Especially if nobody else is doing it. Because apparently uniqueness is not something that holds any weight in a Dancerush tournament. I don't know what holds weight in a Dancerush tournament. There are people who do random ass things that do not correlate with the song or with the chart itself. They're like missing steps, they're not even comboing with whatever they're doing. But as long as it's funny and like a meme, basically, then people just clap and then they cheer. Or like when somebody like crowd plays, like that has nothing to do with the song, that has nothing to do with dance, that has nothing to do with like anything about Dancerush Stardom. That's just like, that's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. And it just doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. Fuck, it's cold. And I don't get it. And that's the whole reason of why like Dancerush now is just so skewed. And obviously someone who could get better, it's like, oh, just practice your shuffling, practice SpongeBob, practice this and that. You can tell them to do that, which basically leads to like becoming like a Max. But then apparently, you know, Max is stale, Max is not good, what he's doing is not good. because people think it's boring, even though he styles and he scores high, but people don't think that's good enough. Which, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. The way I see it, the way I see Dancerush is like any sort of competitive event where there's only one way to really do something. It's like playing chess. If two people are playing chess, the one who wins obviously is the winner. And they're not graded on how they win. You either win and you get the point, or you don't win and you don't get the point. That's kind of how I see Dancerush in a way. Because like I said, people will look at Max and say like, oh, he's too boring. But he plays the game stylishly and he scores high. And he's good at the game. But then they'll look at people who do like meme dances and score not as high as Max would. And then they'll be like, oh my god, that's so good, that's so cool. Ugh. And it's just like, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. The state of Dancerush is abysmal. It's abysmal. Oh man. The way people look at Dancerush is sad. The way people think Dancerush should be played is sad. And I'm sad about it. I'm sad, like, because I had to come to a realization that, well, one, I can't do half the shit that other people are doing. But then, not only can I not do half the shit that other people are doing, like take Rockwet for example, he does amazing stuff. He does like actual dance moves and incorporates it into hard songs and scores high. But apparently to other people, that's not good enough. So if I look at that and say, whoa, all that cool stuff he's doing is not good enough, then what the fuck do I have to do? It's just, it's unrealistic. And that's me thinking about it. Look at somebody else who like just started the game. How are they supposed to compete when they think somebody like Rockwet or someone like Max is not good enough? That's fucking crazy. What? How fucked up of a view on Dancerush did we get to like the standard is so fucking high? That's so crazy. There's no hope for anybody. There's no hope for anybody in that regard. Which is why it's crazy when I submit something that's completely unique to any of the other submissions, and then it just gets like tossed in the trash basically. And that's fucking crazy. And it's like, well, I've been thinking about this for a long time now, but there's like really no point in trying. Because what's the point of me trying if I'm trying to please people because they don't agree with how I play the game or how I style? Am I really gonna waste my time and effort trying to please people that I don't give a fuck about? Like, I don't give a fuck about if you don't think my style is good or shit like that. I don't give a fuck, bro. I play this game for fun. And I style, and I score high. But just because other people don't think so, it doesn't mean shit. Because if you play the game thinking like that, then you're never gonna have any fun. And that's just like, that's such a weird reality to be living in right now. Just that's crazy. That's crazy. Again, I think that's the two best examples I can think of. When people like Rockwet and Max are looked at and they're like, what does that say to other Dancerush players that are trying to be better? Because it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. And it's fucking crazy. And, I don't need to be playing this game to please other people. I'll play this game to please myself, and I am happy with myself. And I do have credibility, and I can say whatever I want about Dancerush. I have that right. I've played this game for fucking 7 years, so I have that right. And I have my achievements and accolades in the game that no other player has even come close to. And I will pride myself off of that because nobody else has what I have. Nobody else has cleared one more extra stage than I have. Nobody has definitely cleared Ride or Die first try on one more extra stage. Nobody has full combo Let Me See Your Dance. Nobody that I know. Well, I mean, of course people have done that, but as far as this video pertains to, nobody else has done any of that shit. And that is something I will pride myself on, because that is how the game is intended to be played, primarily. Style is secondary. It is 100% secondary. When you have a game, you play the game as intended. And then when you play the game as intended and you want to do something different, then you play it another way, which is unintended. You can say it's intended all you want, but the point of a game is for it to be played, and played as best as you can, however that may be. So, style is always a secondary to what Dancerush is primarily. Same as any other game. Same as DDR, same as Simultex, same as 2DX, same as any game. You do your best and get the best score however you think is the best way to do it. And it is what it is. And like I said, when style is so painfully subjective and people have warped the view of what makes a good Dancerush player, especially to add on to that, when people say, oh, all Japanese players, they look the same. Like, okay, yeah, you may think that, but they play very well. And, you know, you look at KAC, that's what Dancerush is. That's it. Old Nishi, that's what peak Dancerush is. If you don't agree with that, well, one, if you don't agree with that, chances are you could not do what Nishi was doing, because Nishi is literally a god. So that's a very good reference to go off of. And then, but people think, oh, everyone looks the same. It's so boring. Blah blah blah. It's like, again, it's a warped reality of Dancerush Stardom that people have pushed so hard, and that was not the case back when the game first came out, a year after it came out, 2 years after it came out. It's a very recent mindset, and it sucks. It sucks balls. And yeah. I'm really glad the game is dying, because this shit fucking sucks. I guess that's it. Is that time? Do we get time? What's time? Fuck, it's cold. Okay, that's pretty much it. There's nothing really much else to say. Yeah. Dancerush is fucked up, bro. That shit is fucked up. I think I pretty much covered all the angles. It's fucking cold as shit. Yeah. What else? I think some people are like very egotistic. It's crazy to say that when I'm so egotistic, but then there are just other people who are so much more. And the people who don't have anything to their name, who try to brag about, oh, it's so good, or like, oh, I know how to play this and how to play that. It's just when people try and brag, I'm like, bruh. Oh my god. It's just certain people are just crazy, man. It's so crazy. And that's what warps the reality of Dancerush. Just people who think they are like, they have all this shit, they know everything, but they don't. They don't. And again, I'm not gonna play the game to please those types of people, because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna waste my time and effort trying to learn something just because they like it. I'm gonna do whatever I like. That's all there is to it. I know that I'm good in my own regard, and the fact that I've done things that nobody else will ever do or even come close to, I'll take pride in that all day. And when the game dies, the game will die with all that in my heart and soul. Like, I got video. Go watch my video where I clear Ride or Die, one more extra stage, first try. Very emotional video. Nobody else has ever done that in the history of Dancerush. Nobody else. Just me, nobody else. It's quite amazing, actually. Nobody else has done that. Ride or Die, Dancerush Stardom, one more extra stage. Nobody else has done that except me. Nobody else. It's very fantastic. Very, 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 very good. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Okay, thank you. That's it. God, it's so cold.